Hi, welcome back to the Mind Sports Olympiad 2018 here in London. My name's Steve Rain.
I'm Paco de la Banda.
And we're looking at joining in with the Awari tournament. Now, Awari is a version of Mancala with slightly different scoring mechanisms. They're on round 2 of 5 at the moment. What we're going to do before we look at Pentamind standings and how to play is we're going to jump right in, see if we can catch the middle or the end of game 2. And then we'll come back in between games, talk to you about the standings, the Pentamind standings, and just the general rules of the game. So here we have, I believe, the girl on the left is Dario De Toffoli, and Ji-Hyun Lee, I believe, won Mensa Connections earlier today. She did extremely well, so well done to Ji-Hyun Lee. Looking at the timer, it is Ji-Hyun Lee's go, and on your turn, basically you pick up one of your home boxes, effectively, and move it as many spaces as there are marbles. So you're dropping the marbles off on the way, just like Mancala. You're looking at the points at the moment, so I believe that Dario's points will be any marble that is in the bottom section, which looks like 7 at the moment, and Ji-Hyun Lee at the moment has a score of 3. That's a much better view, so we can see how many you've got in each turn. It's Dario's turn, and Dario has 5 possible choices on his turn. He picks one of the bowls, moves each marble in, and what we've got some numbers coming to the tables, which is going to be very good. So Dario's going to pick one, and we're going to see how the mechanics work. And it is the first with 48 marbles in play. I think it's first to 25.
25 is enough to win. I mean, you will win by 1.
You'll win by 1. So basically, it doesn't matter how much past 25 you get. Once you've got 25, you've won. And there's no kind of scoring over. So if you score 30 or 40, which it's unlikely to do, it doesn't matter. You're just trying to win the game, and so on. The tiebreaks in this are really simple. If they've played each other, it's head-to-head. Otherwise, it's the Buchholz. I can't remember the other name of that method, where you're looking at your players' respective scores, the people you've played against.
Yeah, there are several ways of counting the bushel, and it depends on the one that you have chosen. There is a progressive bushel, and it is you are adding each time the number of wins that you have. For example, in the first game you have won, and then in the second the same, so 2 points, 1 point, 2 points. Then you have lost, then 2 more points, then you have won, 3 more points. So in the end, you add all the points that you have got throughout, 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus whatever. And then the player, normally with this progressive bushel, or this way of counting the bushel, the player who has won most of the games at the beginning has higher score. Yeah,
because they play better people as they're going along. So our lovely assistants here are putting out some letters and numbers so we can help you a bit easier. They're going to help us talk about which bowl we're talking about. So we've got...
that's perfect.
Yeah, so we've got, for example, if it's Dario's turn, he could move, but they beats from B1 or B5 or so. He's got loads in B5. I actually think Dario can actually capture 4 beads here. Can you see the move to capture 4 beads?
Sorry?
If Dario moves from...
Dario moves with 3, he can take 2...
he ends up getting 4 beads, doesn't he? Yeah. So basically, if he moves from B6, he will put 1 marble
B6, 1
in A1, A2, and A3.
He takes all of them back.
He doesn't take them all back. He just takes A3 and A2.
5. So it's 5 in total.
He doesn't get A1. You only get 2s and 3s, I believe. So we'll see what happens. He's probably going to do that, but I believe you only get 2s and 3s. So when he puts 3 marbles from B6 into A1, 2, and 3, he would only get A2 and A3.
So now it's clear.
I think just pausing the time just so they can get that sorted. So apologies to the players for distracting them a bit there, and it is now Dario's turn. He's having a quick count there. He's got 16 in B5. But he's going to drop 1, 2, 3, and he's going to take A2 and A3. And score 4 points.
You're right.
Yeah.
Single marbles, single.
Single marbles are safe, but
safe.
obviously if you've got single marbles in your side, it means your opponent can take them. So Dario's got 16 marbles in B5. He's going to move them all now. He's going to spread them out, which is really bad for Jian Lee, because you'll notice that down the bottom now she's got lots and lots of singles and doubles and threes. And Dario takes a big stack. I think he's going to be close to winning with all those. He's got to be close. He's counting his points now, but he won't have quite 24 yet. When you're doing that, when you've got enough marbles to kind of go all the way around the board, you never put them back in the bowl you've taken from. So the bowl you've taken from will always stay empty. Anyway, so basically we've been doing this for 4 days now. It's another 4 days to go. With Paco is going to be here the whole long. So if you love what we're doing, come and have a look at what Paco is going to be doing. But if you are watching alongside on the live stream or the Facebook page, please comment below with anything you want to ask us. So if you want to ask us about the game of Wari, or you want to ask us about Dario or Gion at the moment, or just about the Mind Sports Olympiad in general, the comments will come up on our little monitor here, and we will try and answer those questions for you.
So looks like Dario is going to win right now.
Yeah, is that?
In this case, okay.
Yeah, so that's game to Dario. And again, it doesn't matter what the scores are. It is just 1 point to Dario. We came at a point where he was quite dominant. Jian Lee had very few choices on her turn. Very few balls with stuff in. And thankfully now we've got the lettered and numbered stuff on the tables. So how's Dario done in this before? Has he medalled before?
2 years ago he was bronze, and 4 years ago he was silver, and then he was also gold 6 years ago in the 2012.
Okay.
So it looks like that he has enjoyed to be gold, then silver, and then bronze.
So we've also got the 4-time defending champion Paul Smith. Do you know if Paul's in the building today? Is he in the event? Have you seen him?
No, I haven't seen him.
So anyway, if Paul's here, we'll probably see him at some point. I imagine he's pretty good at the game.
Yeah, but for sure he has to be here, because he has been the goal in the Wari for 2 years in a row.
And then 4 years ago as well.
4 years ago, also 3 times in the last 4 years. So for sure he will like to defend.
I imagine so. And Dario is the current senior Pentamind champion, isn't he?
Yeah,
speaking of the Pentamind, we're going to have a look at the standings.
Okay, let's see.
The standings overall. The Pentamind Championship is the best 5 events from players across a multitude of events. There are certain restrictions as to how many of certain games you can play. But here we have a change in the leaderboard. Michael Hornung has moved into first place.
He has 3 very, very good scores. The 4th is close to good, but Ankus has 2 very good ones.
Ankush also got the win from early today, hasn't he? When he played Corridor. So Ankush will
he will improve for
probably
sure.
Another 60 points, we think.
Yeah, because another 60 points. Maybe Ankus at this moment will be number 1, because he will take out the 37 points out, and he will include 97 or 98, something like that.
We look at Ricardo Gomez as well. Ricardo Gomez has got 3 scores of over 90 now. So that's pretty good. Again, you're looking
very, very good.
You're looking to average about 95 maybe, so anything over 90 is good at some point. It is possible to get over 100 this year. There is a multiplier for certain events. You'll notice them with the star next to their name. There is a multiplier of 8%, so you get 8% more points than you normally would, because they're called premium events. How many more premium events have we got coming up, Pecco?
Okay, I'll tell you just in a couple of minutes.
Okay. We're looking at some other people there. The leading junior is George Topkin. He's doing very well. He's moved into leaderboard. He wasn't there before. And you can see right at the bottom, we've just seen him play Aware. That's Dario Di Toffoli. He is on the bottom, but he's the leading senior at the moment. So basically, if you go to our website, the World Mind Sports Olympiad.com, we have some a list of schedules, and tomorrow we've got 2 premium events. What are they?
Terra Mystica and Entropy.
Yeah, so Terra Mystica is a great Euro game. It's a 2-session long event where you're playing different factions of fantasy elves, but it's a really, really hardcore Euro game. And Entropy, hopefully Paco, you get to play in that tomorrow. We'll
I
see.
I really would like, but we still have to rearrange things.
Yeah, so Entropy we will be streaming tomorrow, so either Paco will be here or possibly on stream. But Entropy is a game where you're playing Order and Chaos.
Yeah.
You're trying to put pieces on the board, and you're going to take it in turns, one being Order, one being Chaos.
Yeah.
And you're trying to score the most as Order, and as Chaos you're trying to limit them.
Yeah.
So it's really balanced, it's really fair. There's no one side that's better than the other because you get to play both sides.
Yeah, making symmetries. I mean, making lines of colors and symmetry.
Yeah. Before we talk about what else we've got this week, we're going to have a look at how to play Aware. So Aware is you've seen the game in play. We were just discussing a bit of the rules and a bit of the options you've got on your turn. But basically, we are going to go into the explanation video, and then we'll come back in a couple of minutes and answer some of your questions.
Okay.
Hi, welcome to the Mind Sports Olympiad. My name's Steve Ray and I'm going to teach you how to play Aware. It is a two-player abstract strategy game based on the ancient game of Mancala. So if you played Mancala before, you'll understand the mechanism in this game, but the way you score points is slightly different. Let's have a closer look. In Aware, you've got a board like this, a Mancala board with beads in, a bit like actual Mancala. And basically on your turn, you pick one of the bowls in your half of the board. So on my turn, I could pick bowl A, B, C, D, E, F. I can't remember if they're numbered or lettered. But you pick one of these bowls and you would move all the beads from that bowl. You go counterclockwise or anti-clockwise until you can't drop any more off. So I'll drop one in there, one in there, one in there, one in there. It's my opponent's turn. He decides, well, maybe he's going to do that one. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And you keep going like this until certain things happen. What you're aiming to do is you're trying to land somewhere in your opponent's section where when you place the last bead in that bowl has 2 or 3 beads in it when you do so. So let's say it's my turn. Let's say I decide to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on my opponent's turn, they might decide to pick this one, and they would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Their fifth one and last one in this case landed in a bowl where, when after landing, it had 2 or 3 beads in it. What happens then is my opponent takes those, and my opponent scores those in his or her side of the board. And you keep doing like that until someone can't go on until all the beads have gone off the board. There are a couple of extra things as well. If when my opponent did their move, and this was the case, let's say if we have a little bit more, let's say we do something like this, and it's my opponent's move, and they pick the same one they did last time. They pick this one with 5 in it. They could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one has 3 in it, so they would take that off. This one also has 3 in it. They would take that off. This one, if it had 2 and a 3 in it, you'd take that off as well. This one has 2, but because this one wasn't taken off, this one wasn't taken off. So not only do you get the bowl you land in, you get every adjacent bowl to it preceding it, as long as it's got 2 or 3 in, and as soon as you don't take one, you stop. So your opponent in this case would get those, and they would get those, but sadly they wouldn't get these or these. This because it's got 4, and this because it's got because it's got 2, but this wasn't taken. There is a couple of extra things as well. What you can't do is you can never leave your opponent without a go if you can help it. So if there was a certain situation, let's say it's my opponent's go, and this is a particular situation, my opponent can't just put that one in there, because that means on my turn I haven't got any beads in any of my bowls. My opponent has to use one of the bowls to put something on mine if they can. If they can't make it so I can have another go, the game's going to end, because I'm going to start my turn not being able to go, and then that will end the game. And basically, in Mancala, you've got enough beads to last 48 beads. You've got 12 sets of 4 for 48. So you're playing first to 25, because obviously 24 beads each will be a draw. So as soon as it gets to 25 beads, you stop, or if it's 24 all, you stop as well. And that is a game of Aware.
And there you have it. That's how you play Aware. We're going to go back and watch 3 more matches tonight. If Paul Smith's in the room, he's looking to be a 3-time defending champion.
Yeah.
Dario Toffoli leading on the senior pentamind at the moment. Obviously, he's won a few medals in this before, so he's not too shabby himself. We had a question earlier from John from YouTube. He says, is this event only for professionals and can anyone enter? Well, one of the great things about this is that anyone can enter. There is no entry fee for the building. There's an entry fee for each event you play, but you can come and just watch the events. You can come and observe the events and maybe join in ones that take your fancy. Anyone can enter at all, John. And if you're keen, have a look at the schedule on the Facebook and then pop down on the day that suits you. It's really friendly. You get loads of games. You get, like, obviously each event you get several games depending on the length of the game itself. The people playing Awari are going to get 5 games today, so if it's something you want to have a go at, you do that yourself.
Yeah, and on top of that, you are going to play with this Swiss system that most of the tournaments have. You are going to play with players of the same level. I mean, if you lose the first game, and then you are going to play with weaker players than the ones who have won that game. And if you play 3 in a row and you win all 3, then it is sure that you are going to play with strong players. I mean, if you are strong, you are going to play with the same level players that is your strength. But if you come just for fun and you know the game and you like to enjoy, then you can come, and in a 7 games tournament you can win 2, 3, 4. I mean, the same than your level, so you are going to enjoy anyway.
I think that's one of the great things about Swiss pairing, in that you always kind of get to your equilibrium. You get to the place where, this is the level if you keep playing at this rate, you're probably going to win about half your matches. So that's what you want to be doing. We have results after 2 rounds with 1 table missing potentially, so we're going to have a look at the results after 2, see if Paul Smith's there. You can see that these are the scores at the moment. The people, you get 1 point for a win, so after 2 rounds, Dario, Glenda, Seth, Akash, Ho Young and Mark have all won 2.
Yeah, it's interesting that there are 2 players, Paul Smith and Choi, that have tied the game, and you can ask us, how can you tie a game like this?
Well, there were 48 beads in the game, and obviously you're trying to get 25 to win, so if each of you gets 24 exactly. You can't win, and obviously they've got to a point where they realise they're going to tie and they're shook on it. You can't really tie any other way, I don't believe. I don't think you can say, this game's going to end in a draw. You just have to play it out. But if you only manage to get 24 each, then there you go.
Exactly.
And now Juno Choi we've seen a few times this weekend. Juno Choi is one of the juniors. He did very well
from Korea
in some of the early events, one of the Koreans. There's a lot of Koreans in this room. This day has been the day for the Koreans, I think. In the 3 events we've done today, the Koreans have done very well. They haven't really medalled that much in the past at this particular event, so people like Paul Smith and Dario De Toffoli have dominated the medals generally.
It is something very interesting that Glenda Drew and Seth are the silver and bronze defending champions from last year.
So last year Paul Smith won with Glenda Drew second.
And this time Paul Smith drew a draw with Choi.
Now, because there are 5 matches in this event, you can draw and still win the whole event because there are not enough players to kind of forbid you getting there. So I imagine what's going to happen if Paul Smith keeps winning, he'll probably end up playing in the gold medal match in the last match where someone's undefeated and he's on 3.5 points. So hopefully waiting for one more match to finish. We will be going back to that match in a bit time as soon as it's available. Have you played in this event yourself, Paco, in the past?
Well,
can you tell us your story about what they were chatting after you did well?
Well, some years ago, this game has completely different names across Africa. Is the game, I mean, like Go is the game in Asia and in China, Japan and Korea. In Africa, this is the game. This is the game for all Africans, and in different countries they play a completely different game, but with the same structure, and they call it Kala, Mangala, Oware. I mean, many different things. So there are also many different rules. So I came here and I knew the rules, but I knew my rules. I mean, the rules that I knew from internet and from local people in Canary Islands. And I entered the tournament and I start playing. And after 5 rounds, something like that, we finished, and I got a medal. I think I remember that it was silver medal. And the referee came to me and told me, Paco, I don't believe it, you don't know even how to pick up the the marbles because if I didn't know the rules at all, I mean I won the medal just by chance because I was starting with the idea of another rules completely different than the rules that we were playing. So it was fun.
That's a funny story. So I bet some people were annoyed that you were kind of fumbling your way through. And so Paco wasn't luck. Paco is an excellent games player, and obviously, although he didn't quite know the rules, he kind of had an idea of what was going on and roughly how to play because he's played similar games. So I don't think it was as lucky as you think, but it's a funny story anyway.
Wow.
Basically, what we're going to do now, we're waiting for one more game to finish. They've still got like 10 minutes on the time, so they could finish now. They could finish in 10 minutes' time. So what we're going to do is we're going to have an interview for you to go. So we're going to have an interview with Andres Kusk. And by the time that's finished, hopefully the third round, will be up, and we'll look at two people who have won 2 from 2 so far.
Hello, we are in the Mind Sports Olympiad. My name is Paco García de la Banda, and we are now sharing this interview with Andres Kusk. A pleasure you to be here. And Andres is Estonian who has won 4 times the Pentamine Gold, one of them sharing with Ankus Kandelwal. And I would like to know, how do you feel?
You mean about this
winning 4 times the best trophy that we can achieve here, the Pentamine?
Well, I can say that it actually feels pretty good, even though it would feel better to win it for the 5th time. So, yeah, becoming the world champion has always been kind of dream for me. So when I've won it first time I think it was in 2011. So it was like a dream coming true, so definitely this meant really a lot to me to win it.
So what is the difference for you between now and the first time that you won? I mean, it was completely different experience winning the first time the Pentamine?
You mean winning the first time compared to the 4th time? First?
Yeah.
Actually not all 4 have been quite awesome, and I have got really great emotion from all of this. So I would not even say that the first one was more special than the other ones. Maybe it's because the first one was actually the easiest one, because all others I was always way behind and just coming back and winning it in the very last day. So yeah, all of them have been really, really special to me. So I cannot say that the first one has been more special than the other ones.
Okay, you said before then you are expecting to win the 5th time. Are you meaning that you want to challenge Demis Hassabis, a legend on the Mind Sports Olympiad?
Well, I'm not actually expecting to win, but I'm definitely hoping to win. And I think I have reasonably good chances to achieve it. Maybe even this year, and if not this year, then maybe next year. So
that means that you don't want to tie with Demis. You want to defeat the 5 times winning, maybe with 6.
I usually just take 1 year, and I just don't think more ahead than just 1 year. So I just prepare for the next year and want to win the next championships, and I don't think ahead like 2 or 3 or 10 years.
Okay.
So
that is possible. In your mind, it is possible.
Well, basically, I just want to win it the 5th time, and then if I have it like for the 5th time, then
good.
I go on.
And among all the games, what is your preferred game? Preferred games?
I think I have 2 favorite games right now. These are Lines of Action and Trench. Lines of Action has been my favorite game for a really, really long time. Actually, since I first came to MSO, then Lines of Action was already my favorite. And when I saw the rules of the game, I immediately understood that I'm going to like the game. So I have studied it a lot and played it a lot. And so this has always been one of my favorites. Even though I have basically every time I have failed in the Lines of Action tournament here. So I don't know why this has happened, but
you're meaning the capacity of understanding games and abstract games And I am asking you now about the Estonians. Why the Estonians are so keen in understanding abstract games?
I think one of the reasons why we are so good and why we have so many good players is that in Estonia there is very long mind sports tradition, and also this kind of multi-games tradition.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it already started in 1980s, I think. We had national championships already in 1980s, and I don't think that there are that many countries in the world
Yes,
that
absolutely.
have had so long
experience. Yeah.
So this is one of the reasons. And the other reason is that we have some very special people who have dedicated their lives to teach mind sports to
So you mean
people.
masters of the different games?
Yes, we
Professionally?
We have not professionally, but well, actually more or less professionally. We have some people who basically earn money just going from school to school and
Very good.
and
In
teaching
schools.
mind sports to children.
So maybe the success of the Estonians and the junior Estonians are because they have learned all these games in the school?
Yes, this is definitely very, very important.
Oh, great.
They have started to learn games already in very young age. Yeah, we have even this kind of multi-games, mind sports, training camps and schools.
So
where
good.
you don't only learn one particular game, but this is dedicated to several games, like multi-games.
That is amazing. Okay, let's talk about juniors. Do you expect that, for example, for me, observing Martin Hovemagi is amazing. I mean, I like very much the strength, the attitude, the spirit, etc. Do you expect that some of the juniors can defeat you in a short time or mid-long term?
Unfortunately or fortunately, I do expect this to happen. I don't yet know when this will happen, but sooner or later it will happen, maybe even this year, especially considering how well Martin has started this year. I think he's currently leading and is probably the favorite to win it already this year. And we now have also Markus, who is only 14 years old, and he's also a special talent. I think he's as talented as
with
Martin is.
Etc.
Yes, he's really, really good. He has done a huge progress during the last year, because just a year and a half ago he was not nearly the player who he is right now. He has just made a huge progress, and it's quite amazing how great willpower he has, and how much he studies the games. He's not just playing and enjoying the game, but he's also enjoying working with the games and preparing for the games and studying the games.
And last question, I would like to know if this learning strategy games in the school and this experience for you has been good influence in your personal and professional life?
For me personally?
Yeah, in your case.
Yes, I am quite sure that this that playing mind sports and studying mind sports has helped me a lot in life, because it teaches this kind of analytical thinking and ability to synthesize information and data, and differentiate between what is important and what is not important. So,
in fact, this is your job, more or less, right now.
Yeah, in my current job in Pandora, I am data scientist, which basically means that I'm creating models, and this is quite closely related to game theory, which is quite closely related to games.
Yeah.
So I think playing mind sports has actually helped me a lot in getting this job and getting this job done well.
And tell us something about Pandora and the sponsoring of this streaming retransmission and more or less the band, supporting the band and so on.
Pandora is a fintech platform. We are offering an internet platform where borrowers can get money and investors can invest these loans that borrowers are taking. And why we decided to sponsor Mind Sports, this is not, there was not one particular reason, and I can only say that it was definitely not a business project. At least
maybe because they trust in you.
Yeah, maybe at least not the only business project. I think we just thought that people who are playing Mind Sports, as you said, they have quite similar skills to the people who actually are working in Pandora, who are like programmers and data scientists as I am, and therefore we just thought that we have some funds, so why not use them somehow usefully, so that to do something not only for us but for the society as well.
One last recommendation: as you have seen the experience and the values of the teaching strategy games in your country to kids from the school and on, with this campus, etc., etc. Would you recommend something to the rest of the countries that don't do this? I mean, do you think that this orientation should be implemented throughout Europe or throughout the world?
I personally definitely think that Mind Sports could and maybe even should be part of school programs, even
education.
Yeah, in education. So it definitely can help in young children's development.
Okay, I like so much this last recommendation that Andres, it's a pleasure to share with you your thoughts.
Thanks,
I do agree with him 100%.
Thanks.
So can you do it in the last sentence once more, the recommendation part? We may edit it again.
Okay. So Andres, one last recommendation. As soon as you have seen the effect, benefits of the use of strategic games with kids from the school, would you recommend another countries that don't do this, or maybe to Europe, to the rest of the Europe, rest of the world, to do something like this? Do you think that's useful?
I personally definitely think that this is something that could be and maybe even should be part of the education, because this just helps children to fine-tune their thinking process, to ability to think clearly in difficult situations, ability to synthesize information and so on. So this is definitely would be something I would suggest.
I'm very happy with this answer because I fully agree with him, and sincerely I like so much to share this kind of thoughts with you. Thank you very much, Andres.
Thanks.
Hi and welcome back to the World Mind Sports Olympiad 2018. We're in the middle of the Aware tournament. We've had 2 matches so far. We just saw Dario Di Toffoli win his match, so well done to him. We're going to go straight to round 3, where we're going to see 2 players who are undefeated at table 1. There are 6 undefeated players and there are 5 matches in total, so we'll see how well they're doing. So we see Dario again with another Korean junior. He has started the game. And we're going to need to see a top-down view to see exactly how many marbles we've got in each one. But Dario's chatting with the Korean youngster about what's possible strategy. It looks like he's giving him some
explanation of
explanations
how to take the marbles.
I imagine this young lad must be pretty good. He's undefeated so far. So, but just a reminder: you pick one of your bowls and you move each marble in that bowl counterclockwise until you can't do any more. And if your last bowl has 2 or 3 marbles in it, in your opponent's side, you get to take them, and you get to do that for each preceding bowl until you don't have 2 or 3 marbles in it. So he's going to move 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And then it's
His
Dario's go.
side. Okay.
So Dario just moved 1.
Yeah,
Now, if
from
Ho Young Won moves from A6 into B1, he will not capture them because that would be 4. So he'll be looking to do something different.
So maybe he's going to move A4 to A5.
He could do. He's got 10 and A5, and 10 would put him. 10 would put him back to B4.
4, yeah.
No, sorry, A3. Sorry. He's just going to do that. I think he's keeping. So it seems like they're keeping their big pieces. At some point, they're going to move their big pieces. Now, this is dangerous. If one of Ho Young Won's will land on B3, B2, or B4, he can take a few of them. I don't think any of them do. So A3 has 11 in it, which will get them 11. Will get them back to A2.
Yes.
And
the other one has 11
in it as well,
yes.
so that will get back to A4. So neither of those two will capture. And the sad thing is, he has to move one of them. So he's going to be leaving a string of 1s across his territory for Dario to take. I think Dario's going to be able to take A1 and A2 on his next go. The bowls at the end, so the bowl on the right hand side is A. You can see there's a big A on the table, so that is Ho Young Won's bowl. At the moment he's got 4, and Dario is the bowl at the left hand side. He's actually got 4 as well. So I believe this is going to leave 2 single 1s in A1 and A2, which Dario can't capture, can he? Because he's only got 3. He's got 3 now.
Yes, 3. Yeah. But he can use the 2, 1, 2, 4. So B3 to B4, then 4
next
there,
turn, 4
and then
capture.
there are 2 threats, capturing with B4 and capturing with B2, with B6. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, he's avoiding to be capturing B1. That it is more important short term.
Yeah, well, the problem is if Dario does put a 3rd one in B4, then Ho Young Won will just move out the way. If he puts a 3rd one in B4, then Ho Young Won will just move A1.
Yeah.
So at the moment, they're both avoiding it. They're both building up a big pile in their 5 bowl.
Anyway, moving from B3 to B4, if A6 capturing B1, then B4 will capture 4 in A1 and A2. So it is better to invest 2 to take 4.
No, you can't move them all into B4. B4 would have only had 3 in if you'd have moved them, and then you'd only hit A1.
There were 2 in B4, so and then 2 from B3.
No, because B3 moves 1 at a time.
Oh yes, I made a mistake.
That's fine. It's been I tell you what, I've never commentated properly before. I've done a couple of non-live commentaries, and I have a YouTube channel, so I am recording like single playthroughs, single run-throughs, effectively. So I'm used to talking for a while, but doing it all day is tiring.
Yeah,
isn't it? I don't know how have you ever done anything like this before?
You lose the perspective of many things. Yes.
Yeah. Have you ever done anything like this before?
No.
It was a pleasure to be asked. If you do get a chance to commentate, a few people this week actually, I think they've actually quite enjoyed it. A few people each week. We've had Ricardo Gomez, we've had Alan Decker, we've had Andres did it, we've had Yuli a couple of times, we had who else did we have? We had
Ricardo Gomez.
I think you said Ricardo. We had someone else. So that might be it. But yeah, so
Alan Decker.
Alan Decker. Yeah. So we've had lots of people, and I think every one of them's actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was.
It is helped by an excellent team of people who've got around us.
Yeah.
So they're doing very well.
And tomorrow we will have Martin Hammer.
So Paco has managed to get someone to come in tomorrow to do entropy. Now Martin Hammer is a very good entropy player, so I'm going to be well looked after here. But Paco's actually going to enter entropy, and what we're going to aim to do is make sure he's potentially on one of the feature tables at some point.
So we hopefully.
Yeah, as long as he wins his first match, we'll do some stuff around. So Ho Young Won I don't know how old he is. He looks like he's younger than 10. He can't hold all the marbles in his hands, so he's doing them from the table.
That was why Dario was telling him.
He was telling him to do that, was he?
Yeah.
So Ho Young Won captured some of Dario's in B1. I think he just got 2. The 2 that Ho Young Won put there himself. So they weren't actually Dario's pebbles. But now
So-
Dario. But the problem with doing this is you leave a string of ones and twos in your board.
5, Dario can take
Yeah.
6.
One,
1,
two.
2, 3, 4, 5, and then
and you get
6.
yeah,
4,
well spotted.
6,
You get 6. So Dario's now on 10. Ho Young Wong is on
and
6.
6. Yeah. Anyway, even if there are professional players in the world, I think that this is one of the games that I really would like to teach to kids, because this counting is, I mean, they become so fast in counting with, I think that this is very interesting game to teach kids.
So it's counting a few things, just counting spaces, counting just how many beads in a bowl as well, just having a look at saying, oh, there's 10 in there.
And anticipating the future. I mean,
Yeah.
he has to count if I distribute these marbles,
Yeah,
where
one there,
they
one
go
there,
in,
two there,
and
two
then,
there.
and
Yeah.
then
So I think what's going to happen at some point, Dario is going to play the marbles from B5. There are currently 16 in there. So at some point that will go virtually nearly twice around the table,
yeah.
finishing on Ho Young Wong's turn. So he's going to take a raft of marbles, I imagine. So he's threatening a capture. What he wants to do,
A1,
Yeah.
yes, he's threatening.
so he's forcing Ho Young Wong to move A1. Dario can,
Okay.
yeah, Dario can capture from B2 if he wants to do that. I think with 6, and he can capture 2 marbles from A3.
No, it's
Is that too many?
7.
That's 7, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So you can move one from B1 and threaten again.
Yeah.
But at some point, Dario's going to move them from B5. And when he moves them from B5, they're going to go, he's doing it now, they're going to go
Yeah.
twice on the table. He's going to get a few here. He's going to get a few on, they're going to finish somewhere on Ho Young Wong's row.
Yes.
And he's going to take a
He
few.
has counted properly.
Yeah, 16. Again, when you don't put them back in the bowl they came from. So,
No, you pass by.
yeah.
So 4.
So forcing Ho Young Wong to move from A1, he's still got one of the marbles because it went to A3.
Absolutely right.
Ho Young Wong can take 3
now
back.
1, 2, yes,
Yep.
3 back, yes.
And then there's no capture available for Dario just
So
yet.
B3 to B4, then taking maybe A1 is going to move, and then you can take A3.
Yeah, I think if you go from B3 to B4, Ho Young Wong won't move A1. Although Ho Young Wong won't want to move A2 either. I imagine Ho Young Wong on his next turn will move A5.
Oh, he prefers. Okay. Then.
So Dario's on 15. Dario needs 10 more. You just need the majority. So obviously with 48 marbles in play, you just need
and
any
now
25.
this waiting move is very good for Dario. Now he's going to play B3 to B4 or B1.
Yeah, but
to
he's going to
B2.
play B1 or B3,
Yeah,
and then he's going to
waiting
get
move.
he's going to get at least 4 marbles back
Yes.
because Ho Young Wong has to put
Yeah.
a single
Now-
marble in A3 and
yeah.
A4. Now it's better for Ho Young Wong to use. It doesn't actually matter which one he does. Actually, I think he's going to be done either way. He's going to lose 4 either way. Dario from B6 and B2 lands in A4, so he's going to take.
Yeah, for sure. He's going to take 4.
Yeah, so I imagine
because now he's in 50 and 15, I think.
he's on 15. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's going to get 4 for 19 here. So he's on 19. He just needs another 6.
Yeah. And the situation now for the Korean kid is
There's 11 in that pot. You
Yeah.
don't want to move those, but he's going to have to at some point. There's 11, so that will finish in A1. And then the problem is Dario's got B2. He can
Yeah.
just spread them around and take another 4,
And yeah.
which is not great.
So
Yeah, so
waiting
Dario's-
move, but
yeah,
Dario also
yeah,
waiting move, and
Yeah.
then
So these are going to go all the way back to A3,
Yeah,
and now
yeah.
he's actually going to get.
after this play,
He's going to get even
Dario's
more.
winning.
He's won, I think.
Yeah, he has won. Yes.
He's won because one's going to go in B2. So now B2 reaches to A5 and takes A5, A4, and A3.
Yeah, and to A5 now.
I believe so. Yeah,
With
there's
B2,
9.
Yes, sure.
And which will take 6 marbles, and that's the win. Yeah, so
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And you
6,
take A5,
exactly.
yeah, and
They
that's what you
need
needed.
25. so he won.
Yeah, that is good play. See, we came in, it didn't look like Ho Young Wong had much that he could have done there. Apparently, well, from what I've chatted to some of the experts, Awari can be lost early on by one mistake, and there's not much you can do to recover, potentially, when you're playing against people of a high standard.
So I think that maybe we can, I mean, as Dario not only is one of the players winning so many medals in the last 6 years, winning gold, silver and bronze, I think that we can see an interview.
Yeah, you did an interview with him earlier this week. I think, I believe you did. So should we go to that now?
I think that we can try.
Okay, so we can see there's about half of them in play. We're just going to have a short interview with Dario Di Toffoli, who's going to talk about his experience.
Hello, this is Paco de la Banda talking from Mind Sports Olympiad, and I am with Dario Di Toffoli.
Hi, Paco.
An Italian player who has been the oldest pentamine champion ever. And Dario, how do you feel about that?
I'm incredibly proud. That demonstrates that games are for everybody, no matter the age. So beating the youngster was very, very satisfying.
Very satisfying. In fact, you also won this award 10 years ago. And what was more difficult? 10 years?
I won in 2002 and 2012. I think 2012 was much more difficult because there are much more strong opponents. And
any of these victories have a particular significance in your life, so personally or professionally?
But yeah, not a singular medal, but the pentamine, because what I like the games, but I don't like to play always the same games. So mixing games, it's really what I like, and that's the best to me. The mixing.
Would you say that you are a generalist or a specialist?
I'm a specialist in generalist.
Okay, what is your preferred discipline and why?
Maybe backgammon. Maybe backgammon, because it's the perfect combination of luck and skill. There is a random engine that moves the games, but in any situation you have to choose the best option. Even if it is a little option, you have to perform at the best.
And you don't mind about luck influence in backgammon or in the game?
Yeah, there is luck, but you can rule the luck in the long run. In the long run.
Okay.
I can maybe, if it's a bad situation for me, I can give you 27 good shot for you, or maybe 25. I have to give you just 25.
25, yes.
In the long run, it makes the difference.
Okay, I will define you as a sharp, open-minded, and flexible player. Do you agree with that definition?
Yeah. I think flexibility is the key. Is the key, because if you only practice one discipline, you can become very good in that discipline, but then maybe you don't know how to apply in another situation.
I like very much this idea of flexibility being the most important, because I do agree with that. What other important values do you think that are required to become number one?
First, you have to have some luck. That's you need. But I think another key is the mindset. The mindset, the spirit of the concentration. I'm sometimes, when I have the right mindset, I can perform good games. If I don't have, it's much more difficult. For example, in 2012, I went there. I came here with no idea of winning, just for fun.
Enjoying.
But then I won a couple of medals in the very first days, and then I started this give me fuel to my mind. So it's better to stay concentrated, and it worked.
And what do you think about the benefits of teaching strategy games to kids at early ages?
Absolutely, absolutely. They learn to think. They learn what we call lateral thinking, and that would be very, very useful in life too. Yeah, or in all ages. In all
In
ages.
all ages.
Absolutely.
Do you think that learning these strategy games when you were young has helped you to maintain healthy and good mind?
Let's say I train my mind, not too much my body, not enough my body, but my mind, yes. And I think that particularly backgammon was very useful in my personal life because it teaches discipline.
Discipline, yes.
Yeah, to upset also bad situation, and in any situation, try to
how to face them.
To keep the best.
Yeah, to keep the best, even if you are in bad shape. Yeah. Okay, last question is, you have a beautiful project, now is a reality in the last 2 years, Italian Archive of Games. Tell us something about that.
My archive is a project I've been thinking about for 20 years, but now it's a reality. It's main in classification and cataloging games, but in a new way, in a completely new way. But it's a long discussion about.
Okay, then we can employ one more interview just to talk about specifically to the Archive of Games.
It would be my pleasure.
Okay, so one more interview with Dario De Toffoli, the Italian champion and the Pentamain champion in 2002 and 2012. A pleasure to be with him.
Thank you, Paco.
What a well-rounded gentleman there. Well done to Dario De Toffoli. He says he's a specialist in generalising. What a great guy. So Dario won the match we saw in the Awari tournament. We've got 2 more matches to show you. We're going to hope that we can show you a match from the start. You can see how it starts off and how it gets to the point where we've seen the first 2 matches go. At the start, you get 4 marbles in each one, and so obviously a lot of the game can be won and lost at the start. If you kind of do yourself in at the start, it's very hard to catch up. Speaking to David Pearce, a very good games player, who said something down the same things. So just for those of you who are thinking of potentially coming down over the next 4 days, we've got 4 more days of play. Tomorrow we will be showing 2 events. We will be showing a double session of Entropy. If you ask a lot of the people, especially the people going for the Pentamind, Entropy looks like an event that everyone seems to really like. It's a really good event. Paco is going to be playing in that tomorrow. He's just sorting out his replacement, just filling in replacement. So that's why he's disappeared at the moment. And then we also have Mastermind in the evening. And Mastermind is a classic. Mastermind is a game where you're trying to guess the colours of pieces that your opponent's played, and they have to tell you if you're close or if you've got it exactly right, but they don't necessarily tell you which piece is close and which piece is exactly right. So it's logical deduction. There's a lot of if this is true, if that is true, and so on. So if you like that sort of thing. What we're going to have a look at is a top-down view of the table in play, if that's possible. We must be close to the next match, and obviously when we get standings after 3 matches, we know Dario's on 3 wins. We can do it now. So we can see there's at least 1 match in play in the middle of the room there, a couple of observers and another match there, and you can see how many Korean youngsters are in the room. There's 2 Korean youngsters on the left, and then there's 1 in the shot there. He's still playing, and there's 2 matches left. We've got Marlene there with the computer. She is the lady in our production team who gets us the results, so she's just waiting for those 2 to come in so she can forward the results to us. We're just panning around the room there. This is half the room from earlier. They've cut it in half again just so they can have extra events. Earlier we had the full, both parts of the room, didn't we, Paco? Just for the other 2 events today. Without these 2, now these 2 aren't going to affect the top of the table. They're not going to affect the undefeated people because these just are tables. I think they're 7 and 9. I think so. We're going to have a look at the top few results in the table, if that's possible, before the next match, and we can see who else is undefeated. So we have Dario De Toffoli, Glenda Drew, Seth, and Akash on 3 wins out of 3. What do we think happened to Paul Smith?
Oh,
Did
Paul Smith.
He must have lost.
Yeah.
Because he was
Quite
on 1.5.
strange.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
must have
1.5.
lost. So Paul Smith, we're saying that in congratulation because Paul Smith has won 3 of the last 4 years.
Yes.
He's clearly a very good Awari player, or maybe he's just a fan of Mancala. These aren't the final results, however, there are still 2 games with the Korean youngsters in the middle up played. So these are there. So maybe Paul Smith is in the corner. It doesn't look like he's still playing, so we can assume he lost. So now there are 4 people on 3 points. If that is true, we're going to see one of those matches at the top table, and that means we're going to get a clean run to a gold medal. 4 people on 3, which means there are going to be 2 people on 4, which means there's going to be 1 person on 5.
One person only on 5.
Again, if you're looking for Pentamine standings, you're looking for at least 4 out of 5 wins. You want to be coming in like the top 3 or 4 places. I've just had to confirm that Paul Smith is not in the top 10, so he has lost. He will not be defending his title this year. He might still win the last 2 matches to get to finish on 3.5 points, but he probably will not be getting a medal after losing that match.
Let's see if we are fortunate enough to see Dario Toffoli with whatever opponent in the table number 1.
Yeah, so Dario, we've just had an interview. It would be nice. It would be nice to see the next match, and also we can see he's
yes. Looks like he's
sat down. I don't think the draw's been made yet. I think he's just sitting down.
Oh, maybe.
It'd be nice to see how he starts off, because every time we come to the table, we just see him in a dominant position. He's got often, especially in B5, it seems like he collects marbles in B5, doesn't he? And he has one great move.
I think that tomorrow we are going to broadcast the Mastermind, and I know that Mastermind is also a game that Dario loves, because he likes all these alternative trees of alternatives and calculate this is 20%, this is 80%, this is 60%.
I like the if this is true then that's true. So you used to have these logic problems that Mr. Smith lives in the blue house but he doesn't have a red briefcase. I don't know if you had those problems in La Palma.
We have those problems, and we like to try to develop creative thinking, lateral thinking to the kids with this kind of problems. So I would say that even I will like them more than the maths problems. So
they're nice.
I would love to talk to you about different problems having to be solved with lateral thinking.
Yeah, so it's very hard. It's very hard skill to teach. You don't get there's no lateral thinking subject in school. You just have to kind of expose kids, especially children. It's a very hard thing for children to pick up, kind of this logical thinking. They might be very good with their numbers, but they're not necessarily, it's not even thinking outside the box. It's just logical thinking, really. So
we start with exposing to problems that they are obliged to go out of the box. The most easiest problem is to put together 9 dots with only 4 lines. And how can you get?
Is it like the envelope or the house or something? Yeah.
Well, it's.
Yes, I know the one you mean. Yeah, so you've got 9 dots like a telephone keypad, nine dots in telephone, and you've got to draw through them with 4 lines, but without taking your pen for paper. So 3 lines would be easy. You just do that and that and that. But to do with 4 lines, if you do that, go down a bit, do that, go down a bit, you're done. So that's quite an interesting problem.
So you have to go out of the box, and this is.
Yeah, just sticking to the rules as well. What are the rules of this problem? Okay, can I do anything within the rules that hasn't been mentioned? So we're close to ready now. I think those games must be close to be finished, and obviously, hopefully, we'll see Dario again. It doesn't actually matter who we see again. Obviously, the people we see will be very good Awari players. It looks like one of those games is finished that we were looking at there. Yeah, we're just waiting on the game on the left here now, and you can see everyone milling about. You can see just how many children are in the event as well. How many children are floating about in the event. There's loads of children here. I think the average age of this convention Must be pretty
and,
low.
and also how many different. I think that this is one of the games that put together more people from completely different countries and or from all of the world. I mean, because you have people from Asia, people from Africa, people from Europe, etc. And not all the games collect people coming from so far.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. They come all the way around the world to play in this. It's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, again, if you're a local to London or it's not far away and you want to come down, have a look at our schedule on the World Mind Sports Olympiad website. We've got some loads of games. Every session there are 5 games going on. So for example, now instead of Awari, we've got a quiz that's just finished, 5-card poker. We've got Perudo or Liar's Dice, which is in Pirates of the Caribbean. It's one of the games to play there. And then there's a version of Dominion with their expansions. So we've seen Dominion, the base game, already this week. There are Dominion with expansions as well. So if you like Dominion even more than earlier, you can play with even more cards. Which it gets hard to kind of think of the possibilities when there's even that many cards in play.
And just tomorrow we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11 completely different subjects.
So we're filming Entropy and Mastermind tomorrow, but there will be loads of others. There's a lot of backgammon going on this championships. We've got 4 different backgammon events, different matches to different number of points. So obviously you've got the 1-point matches, you've got the 7-point matches, you've got the 14-point matches, is it? 11-point matches.
11.
And obviously as soon as you get more than 1 point, you start to have the doubling dice, and the doubling dice is where a lot of the skill lies in backgammon, isn't it? I was chatting to Alan Decker about how you what percentage of the time you need to win to accept a double. It's about, do you know the answer to this?
I don't know.
So let's say that I'm playing with you and I offer you a double, and how often do you need to win the game to win it? Well, the answer, with a few exceptions, is about a quarter of the time. So if I offer to double the game, you should accept if you think you're going to win more than 25% of the time.
I was thinking about 33%.
Yeah.
So just 20 more than 25.
Assuming you're not going to get gammoned or backgammoned.
Yeah.
Okay, because then it's slightly worse. If I try to double you, you should accept as long as you think you're going 25% of the time for the following reason. Let's say I'm going to double you on 4 games.
Yes.
If you reject the double 4 times, I win 4 points.
Yeah.
Okay. If you accept the double 4 times, one of them you're going to win, and you're going to win 2 points. And the other 3 you're going to lose.
4. Yes.
And the other 3 you're going to lose. You're going to lose 6, which ends up being a net loss of 4.
Yeah.
But if you're going to win more than 1 in 4, you should accept it. That's not strictly true, and obviously it's very hard to rate how likely you are to win a game. Because if you get gammoned or backgammoned, you're losing more when you lose. So you've got to be careful of that. Don't say, but Steve told me. But it's interesting because, like I was speaking to Alan, a lot of people, if they haven't done the maths behind it, think you need to win half the time to accept a double, which is clearly incorrect. Otherwise,
I guess that it was 1/3, but it's not because I studied. Mathematically, it was just feeling
a gut feeling.
Yes, one out of 3 will be enough.
But now if you think you win 1 out of 3, you should be accepting.
Sure. But it is clear then, with no backgammon, gammon or backgammon, then 1 out of 4 will be good enough.
Yeah, that changes obviously, but obviously it just also changes if they double you, and you could still potentially gammon or backgammon them as well.
Yeah.
It seems a bit weird that they might do that, but they might have just rolled a double 6 on the previous turn, and they might think, I'm way ahead here. I want to double my stake. Backgammon's there, and I think Go's here as well. Different size Go events. Have they already happened? They've already happened. You've got 2 Go events, a 13x13 and a 9x9.
Yeah.
That happened earlier in the week. I also found out earlier that some of the events are seeded. So some of the, especially 2-player events are seeded, aren't they, Dario? Paco.
What ones?
The events are seeded. They've got seedings. Have you not seen that?
No.
So basically, I found out in the Acquire tournament and the Corridor tournament, they have seeds. So they have 4 seeds often, and the seeds are split up until later in the event, so the seeds can't meet each other until later on. So, for example, in the corridor tournament, I can't remember the 4 seeds, but Andres Kusk was seeded, Ankush Khandelwal was seeded, and basically they couldn't meet each other or the other 2 seeds until the last 4, effectively. So until round 4, they couldn't meet each other. So it basically means that they don't have like what could be a medal match, because often if like Andres Kusk is playing Ankush Khandelwal or David Pearce or something like that, that is technically a medal match, because often those 2 finish, those 2 or 3 people finish near the medals. What you don't want is one of those matches on the very first round, because it might be unfair for the loser effectively, because their tiebreaks get worse as well. So they seed it off like that, so they don't meet until later on. So at the start, if you look at next time you look at the tiebreak rules, have a look underneath. It'll tell you who the seeds are. In the Acquire tournament, the seeds were split up for the first 2 games, I think. Well, the first 1 game anyway. So they weren't put together.
I didn't know that there were rules to split.
Yeah, I don't know exactly the rules. What we'll do is we'll find out more information. I've only seen it. I haven't actually read what the rules are. But basically it means that certain players can't meet each other early on. We're going to go back to the table now. We hopefully it should be finished. So Dario's still sat there twiddling his thumbs, and we're still waiting for that match. So generally in this game, we can see that the event in general has gone at a fast pace. We've seen nearly 3 matches now. Apologies, 2 matches now where it's gone pretty fast, both involving Dario. But they have 15 minutes on the clock each. So obviously, when one person is being too slow, they will run out of time. They lose the match. But 15 minutes on the clock each is plenty of time, given how quick the matches have gone so far. They're using chess clocks. They use chess clocks in nearly all 2-player events.
It looks like that it is a situation with very few marbles, and they are going around and around and around. And
so is that a position where you could get a draw if you've got 1 marble each?
I think.
And I keep moving my 1 marble around.
That I have heard that it is, but I don't know how, sincerely.
Okay. I suppose if it works out exactly that I've got 1 marble in the same pot as you've got,
the same position.
Yeah,
then
they
you
have
move one, and you are going around.
So I imagine if that is the case, they will call a draw, because they've got no other alternative move.
They are not going to lose on time when that is the situation, and the arbiter, you just claim the arbiter, say this is a draw.
So David Pearce there on the right hand side, he's the record medalist. He's also very helpful. I've chatted to him a lot about strategy for various games, but he's also the arbiter of this particular event. He is him and a few other people, Eaton and Mike Dixon. They do ever so well. I know I'm missing some names out. They do ever so well running these events. Danton ran an event today. It was his day off. He came in, got asked to run an event with like 40 people in it. So well done to Danton. It looks like people are starting to move now. They must have finished. So the scores are going out. That was the one they were waiting on. So I imagine the seating will happen.
I don't know what happened, but in the end, people were applauding the girls. So
looks like the girls won. Yeah. Well done.
So 2 Koreans fighting for the last marbles.
So people are moving around. I imagine we can go to table 1 now. Their players will be taking their seats soon. You can see Dario with his back to us there. He looks like he's ready to sit down table 1. And they're just checking where they're going. So basically to go over to the standings. The standings are drawn using Swiss. So the best players will be playing each other, and the people who aren't doing so well will be playing each other as well.
So
that's Mark Taste there.
Yeah,
Mark Taste, who's doing well on the overall Pentamine leaderboard.
It was up there for a long time, and it has come up, but I am not sure that he's on the top places at this moment.
He came second. He came second in corridor, I believe. Mark Taste, didn't he? I believe so. So that score hasn't been added in yet. So when that gets added in, we might see Mark Taste back on the leaderboard. How confident do you feel for Entropy tomorrow, Paco?
No confident at all, because I didn't expect to play and I didn't train for a long time. But anyway, the pleasure to play
Entropy is the game that I like most. I
Okay.
mean, I have been a Spanish Go champion 8 times, and theoretically, Go should be my game, but for me, Entropy is so beautiful game. Then this is the game I'm more fond to. So. Paul Smith was in the middle of the room, so
Oh, that was Paul
means
Smith,
that
was
he
it? Yeah.
was 1.5
Yeah.
points still.
We believe that
Has lost with
Marlena's worked out the practical. As you can see her there, just in the background. She's staying there until things are done. We've got Dario. She's putting the names in the system, so she is part of the wonderful team we've got around us now. She's putting the names in the system, so we know Dario on the left. We don't quite know the name of the person on the right. What we're going to quickly do before we start is have a look at the results with those 2 matches in. I don't think they've changed the top 4, but we can see if there's anyone else just beneath them in chance of silver medal. So any names there? David Pearce, he's going there. Mark Taste. They can still get medals. They can still get medals if they keep winning, if they get 4 points and get some Player of the Year points. But I don't think that's changed too much. Okay, so we're going to go back to table 1. We'll hopefully get some names, and we get to see what the starting strategies are. So if we can look from the top, that would be lovely, just so we can see the starting strategies. They're about to start. You can see 15 minutes and 5 seconds.
Drew. So yeah, I was expecting that Glenda, who has been gold 3 years ago and silver last year. So these 2 players are 2 of the strongest players in this tournament.
Yeah. Is there a standard opening strategy, or do you kind of have to wait and see what your opponent does?
Well, this is a maths game, and there are absolutely lots of studies about how to start and what is the best play and so on. So I'm sure that Dario is well aware of that, and the fast way that Glenda is playing, I'm 100% sure that she knows perfectly these starting moves.
What you're generally avoiding to do is you don't want to put too many marbles in your opponent's side, because the more marbles they've got, the more kind of choice they've got. What we've seen Dario do the last 2 games is pick 1 ball and just never move it until it's really, really big, until he can go like twice around the table. Because if you can go twice around the table, you can definitely put 2 marbles in some of the empty spots.
Yeah. Now Glenda is obliging Dario to play all the marbles in the field of Glenda, and Glenda just the marble that is still single, then 1 move, and then Dario has to play again.
So Dario can stop that by playing B1. B1 isn't big enough to go.
B1,
it doesn't go to A4.
Yeah, and then it will pass the turn to Glenda.
Yeah, so if he doesn't want to let her keep doing that, just keep effectively all she's doing, like Paco said, is...
The only thing is that losing your last, like B1 and A1, normally is a bad strategy. It's good to have many
Okay,
marbles
is that the best one to have marbles in then?
Normally.
But what we've seen from the 2 games Dario's done, he's had a lot of marbles in B5 twice.
Yes,
so we'll see if he does that again.
Let's see. So now I think that there are 5 in A5 or 6?
There are 6.
5. 6. Okay.
We have 6 in A5, 6 in A3, 6 in A2, and 7 in A1. So that is a 6. So Dario can capture in A6, I think, by moving B5. He'd only be capturing 2, and he would leave himself open to potential capture on the way back, I'm afraid. So that's possibly not what he wants to do.
Yeah, I think that's 3, 6, 3. I think that he's going to protect B2.
Can B2 be taken, can it?
7.
Yeah,
3.
from A2.
Oh, no.
Yeah, A2 to
because
it's B3.
B2,
B2 can take from A3.
then with A1, 7, so yeah, b2, yes.
To
I think
b2?
that he's going to pass b2 to b3.
Yeah, and do you think then Glenda just moves from a6 to stop that being taken as well? Oh no, she doesn't mind. If a6 is taken, then a1 and a2 get bigger, and then she can take b3.
So 3,
so Dario
4,
can
7,
can take
b2 to b3 again.
yeah, to protect b2.
Yes.
There's two pieces that can take b2, a6 and a1, I think.
Yes. Correct.
You're right again, Paco. Well done.
Yeah.
Now they're threatening b3. And
No, because there are 3.
Oh, there's
and
3
one
now,
more.
yeah. You are correct again.
So 3, 6, 10. Yeah, waiting move. Then 3, yeah, to b6, yeah. Then waiting move.
Yeah, you'd imagine so.
And then waiting move.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that Dario...
I think Dario's got the advantage,
yeah,
you think?
I think, yeah.
No, if he can't land in b3, he's got too many. He's got 12 in b1.
12.
Yeah, 12 in b1.
So
And he's got 10 in b5, and he's got 8 in b6. So none of those can land in Glenda's half. They're all too, they're all too big.
I think that he will play b6.
You think he'll do b6, which is 10?
Yeah, 10, b6.
I suppose b6 is 8.
Yeah.
So b6 gets to b3, b2.
No, because 8 is in his side. So...
yeah, it does. b6 goes through to b2.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then Glenda will have many waiting moves, and Dario will have not. Even if he splits b2,
so do you think
2, and then
Do you think b1's better then? Oh, he's making a waiting move.
Yes, waiting moves.
And he's just checking how far they can reach. So a5 is 12 as well.
So
a5.
8. I think that he's going to play b6, but many interesting waiting moves for.
So this gives him some waiting moves as well now.
Yeah.
Sadly, he's not threatening any captures though.
No, but she was counting.
Yeah, so I think it's 13 now. It was 12 before, so it's 13.
Have you seen her? She's standing up.
Is she? Yeah, I saw she was standing up earlier. She's still standing up when she's playing, is she?
Yeah.
Okay, she's got a capture of 2.
So.
And Darius still can't capture, I don't think. He's got 10 in b6 and more in b5. He's got 11 in b5.
Yeah.
So he can't capture. He needs to protect, although she can't get him back, he needs to protect some of the other ones. I wonder if he makes another waiting move here.
Yeah, or playing b6.
b6 is 10, so it goes all the way around to b4.
Yes, no problem, because then everything is protected and both sides.
Yeah.
I think that Glenda has more waiting moves, and I think that she's a little bit better.
So as soon as Daria moves b6, does that give Glenda loads of options? It does, doesn't it? Because she's got marbles in every bowl.
Yeah, but okay. Yeah, now yes, but it will be only in b1. b6 will add 1 marble in b1 and 1 in a5, so a5 could take b1. But my meaning is that waiting strategy of Glenda with so many waiting moves, I think that may
pay reward. So Dario is now absolutely calculating the final result of b6 and b5, because I don't think that he would like to move b2 or b3. I think that may be better for him if he calculates well the result of moving now b5 or b6.
Yeah, so if he, like Paco said, if he moves b6, b6 will put one into a5 and one into b1. So we'll see there's two in a5 now and one in a b1, and that gives Glenda the opportunity
to take b1.
If she takes.
If she takes, for sure.
I imagine against someone like Dario, you have to take any advantage you get. So she's now 4 to the good.
So he's going to do the same. Charge b5.
Yeah, he seems to have done that every game so far, doesn't it? I wonder if that's just what he does. And he tries to charge b5 in such a way that... Yes. So basically what he's trying to do, he's trying to get enough in b5 so that he will go twice around the table. Yeah. And if Glenda has any empty bowls, Dario will fill them and take them.
Correct.
So you imagine... 5, 3... So that he did that one so that he's not ever going to be putting a single one in A2. If you move B2 first and then B3, he'd be putting a single in A2. Gives Glenda more waiting moves. Yeah. She seems to just she seems to just wait. Yeah.
I mean, for Glenda, if she can manage Dario breaking b5 in the wrong moment for Dario, it will be awful.
Well, he's got 6.
She can take back so many marbles from the Dario point of view.
Well, he's got. I think he's got 17 in there now. Let's just double check. He's got 17 in there.
Yeah.
17 will get him to a5. So he goes twice round effectively and lands in a5. So if she doesn't want to move a4, if she moves a4, what happens with Dario is he takes a5 and a4. So he's now got 18.
Okay, she's protecting.
Yeah, he's got 18.
I think that Dario is.
There we go. Okay, this is. He's going to get. He's going to get 5 here, I believe. He's going to get a6 and a5.
The a6 and a5, yes.
But he's left a few 2s on his side, so if she can land in b4, which she can she? She can land. She's just checking now. I think she's got too many in there. She's got 8 in there.
4 and 4, 8.
Yeah, which is b5, so no.
b5.
And she can, and a1 can only land in b2, so she can't take Dario, so he's timed that well.
So 6 to 5.
Yep.
Was 5.
Yeah.
So b1 now, it is not acceptable to lose those 2
No, you can't
marbles.
do that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. She can't land in b3 twice in a row.
Yeah.
She doesn't quite have the
4 and 4, 8. So 3.
She won't move a2.
No, it was b5. Yes.
Yeah.
So 4, 7
is b2.
Yeah, b3. No.
But apologies.
5 and 2. Yes, b2.
Yeah.
Yes.
A1.
Right.
A1 goes to b2.
Yeah.
So this is going to go into b2. And she's doing that at some point. I mean, Dario can capture a4 here for 2 marbles.
A4.
But he then just concedes b1 for 2 marbles.
4. Yeah.
So it's basically a 2 for 2 trade. If Dario moves b6 to a4, gets 2, and then Glenda moves a5 to b1 for 2.
Yeah, it will be better 2, yes.
Glenda
He has to take b1 out because. Okay.
Then she'll take a4 out, won't she? Okay, you got a different way of getting a4, so she can just take b1 now. The a2 is there's 5 in a2 and there's 9. Apologies, there's 10 in a3.
9 in a3.
It's 10 in a3.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10. 3, 9.
Yeah, so it goes to
not
a1.
fine. Yeah.
So I imagine she just takes b1.
With a2, yes. Yeah, it's.
Oh, okay, which is taking
Yeah,
a2, yeah. And that way she
Nice
protects a5.
protecting a5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, she could have taken b1 from a5.
Yeah.
So she chose to do that
And
instead.
living alone.
Yeah.
I mean, living empty.
Maybe she's building up a3 like Dario was building up b5.
So now it's a threat on a1.
Yeah, so she moves a1.
Yes, move. But then for b4, takes it.
Oh, so it's just she can't protect it. She can protect it by moving. Oh no, that wouldn't work. A3 would.
A3 will go.
A3 is 11. A3 would go to A2, so she wouldn't be able to save it. This goes all the way around to A2 now and gives Dario a string of 1s at the top. So those 1s are very vulnerable. I don't think he can protect many of them at all. He's gonna lose a few of them here, isn't he? So A5 and A6 will take the whole string of them. So he's got to break it up somehow. I imagine he moves B3 into B4.
No.
Well, he has to, because otherwise he loses.
B3. I think the best play. Oh yes.
B3 to B4 means he just loses B4.
Then loses only
just
B4. Yes.
Yeah.
You're
if
right.
he moves any others,
Yeah, yeah.
I think he loses more than one ball.
Yeah. You're right.
Thank you. It's rare that I'm right, but thank you.
No.
Yeah. So
you calculate better than me. I mean, I have to think a lot to be 100% sure of the quantities on each hole. And
right, so I think he's going to do it. But yeah, B3. So he's
Yeah.
going to lose B4.
yeah.
Glenda's going to move A6.
With A6, yes.
And so now she's on 14 points.
So, yeah, avoiding 1, 2.
Yeah, now he's got to move B1.
B1, yeah, but okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's got to move B1. I think.
Yes.
He's been a bit behind now. It's 14 to 9. Glenda is 5 beads up. Are they called beads or marbles or stones? I think they're beads. They're meant to be beads, I think, are they?
Really?
I think so.
I don't know. We call stones in Spanish piedras.
I just want to thank you. We've had 1,800 people today. So that is fantastic. That is more than yesterday by a few percent. So well done. 1,800 people. I wouldn't have fathomed we had that many. So congratulations wherever you're coming from in the world. Hopefully you're enjoying what you see. We are looking at Aware at the moment, but there are many more events. Again, if you want to see what events we have, look at the live stream details. If you want to see what events at the Mind Sports Olympiad, look at the World Mind Sports Olympiad webpage where there's lots of information. If you just want to ask us some questions, again, please do that. We'd love to hear from you. If you've got any questions about what's going on the table in front of us, or any questions to Paco or myself about any of the events coming up or the ones that have been already.
Yeah, it will be a pleasure.
So Dario's just protected B1. Okay, so she's just taking another 4. I don't think.
Yeah, so looks like she has 10.
She's just got another 4. She'll be on 18.
15, 18.
Yeah. So it's 18 to Glenda.
To 9.
Glenda has won this before. She won it 3 years ago, and she came second last year. So well done, Glenda. She also came third 4 years ago. So Glenda has medalled in this quite consistently. You imagine that if the winner of this match will get a medal of some sort? Because they'll be on 4, yes. The winner of the match is likely to get a medal of some sort, depending on. I imagine it will be, in fact, depending on the Buchholz method. I imagine the winner of this match is likely to get at least a silver, but we'll see. So now it's got to the point where Dario is moved up to 12, so it's 18 to 12, and he's got a lot more choice. Now Glenda's only got 2 options on her turn. Dario can take a4. He's decides not to. But now he can take a5 with the same bowl, I believe. But he can take b5, can take a5.
Yeah, can take both.
He
But,
can't take both, can he?
Yeah.
b5's got
With
6.
B5,
He's got
6.
6.
No, only
takes
only
A5,
A5. Yeah, sorry.
So b5 takes a5. I don't know why he didn't take it last turn. He could have taken it last turn when it was b5 to a4 because they had 1 marble fewer in each. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, that is a take. He will get him 2 towards it. Will get him 14 to 18. But maybe he just doesn't want to give Glenda all these ones. I mean, the other option he has is to delay and kind of force Glenda to kind of almost empty out her board, and then he can give Glenda lots of 1s and then come in and take them.
Yeah.
So he's chosen just to take it. So he's on 14 to 18 now. Now he's probably going to move the big one. The big one's got 9 in it.
So he's going to lose 4 marble.
He's going to lose 2.
Only 2?
Yeah, from a4.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's 20 to 14 now. He's not got much choice now. He's either got to move. So he can't move b3 because because a6 will take him, and b4. So he can't. So he's in a bad spot now because he's not got much choice. So in this particular, so he has moved it. So a6 can take b4 now, and I believe that's 22 to Glenda.
Yes.
We'll just a quick count. We're going to double check the count. Yeah, it's 22. So she needs 3 more to win. So it moves a1 out of the way. So it's getting to the point now where like a computer could solve this quite easily, what to do and who's going to win,
Yeah,
I think. Because there aren't many more choices. You just run out of choices the longer this game goes on because you've just got fewer and fewer bowls to move marbles from. So if he moves b5 to b6, Glenda just moves a2.
Yeah, a2.
And the problem with moving a2 is it gives Glenda
I
4.
think that he's going to play b2.
I think he's going to play b2 because if he forces Glenda to move a2, then a5 has 4, and then when b2 moves, a5 can capture things. Tell you what, it's good that we put these numbers and letters next to the holes, isn't it? Makes it much easier.
Yeah. It will be really difficult to commentate without.
Yeah. It's much quicker. So thank you to Marlene, Marlene and the team, Rando, Mita and Polina. Might, sorry, not Mita, Might. They're very good.
Yeah, this is a Estonian production and so good quality.
They're learning all sorts about the games we have on offer, aren't they? So Dario's thinking, obviously it's a very quick play, he's just thinking, he's got 2.5 minutes left, I think, just over 2.5 minutes. But the game's near the end, so I don't think he's going to run out of time.
The thing is that if he thinks short time or long term, maybe he's calculating long term because short time he has to play b2. So he's thinking, if I play b2, how many timing moves do I have to...
So if he moves b5, he's going to lose 2 marbles from b3 in 2 turns time.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Not certainly.
Yeah, sure. Because a2 will move 3
to
and
a5.
Then a5
will have 4
to
b3.
And so b3 is...
So I imagine b2... So he's going to lose some here, so she's going to move 3.
Yeah.
He's going to move them. She's going to take 1. She's going to take 2, I think. She's just counting to see if she's going to win. She's counting 22.
22, so at least tie.
She's at least... So if she takes... She's going to do it. She's going to take b3. She's going to at least tie. And Dario has
let's see if
Dario
Dario
has to move
is
B2.
able to tie.
I would be
this.
amazed if he could. I think
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah, I will also be amazed because has not time enough. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4 moves, 5 moves, and
so he can't move B. He can't move B1.
B1.
No, he can't move B1. Otherwise, he's lost. So he's deciding. I mean, he could move B5 to threaten A3, which is just going to move out of the way. So I think he might move. I wonder if he moves B3. No. Okay, so
yes.
she moves A3.
Yes. Then B4.
Yeah. She moves that there, and now he's lost because both of them can hit
both. Muy bien.
B1. Yeah, well done. So well done to Glenda, who goes on undefeated with a record of 4-0 with 1 match to go. She will be fighting for a chance at another gold medal. Remember, she won 3 years ago and she came second last year. So well done to Glenda. It's clearly her sort of game.
I like very much then Glenda when she did the last move. She explained why she has won.
She was alternatives. That was good. That was good. But Dario couldn't avoid that, I don't think, because he had that one. He couldn't move it, and she was eventually going to threaten it in 2 places. So Glenda did very well. I think he should have moved B2.
Yeah,
before he did.
That was the reason why Dario was thinking if B2 was good short term or long term.
Well, you get to a point where I think if you can't, so it's to do with the rules. So basically, if on my turn I've got no pieces in my board, my opponent scores all the rest of the pieces on the board and win and gets all those. But my opponent, if they can, have to give me a play. So if I've got no pieces on my board and it's their turn, they have to, if they can, give me a play. So I wonder if he'd worked out that he was going to be empty boarded where she didn't have to give him a piece. Because if that was the case, if he'd worked out that he was going to lose by losing the lot, maybe he decided, oh, well, okay, I'm happy to lose 2 if I don't lose the game. Ended up losing the game. He possibly didn't think it, but
she could manage the situation.
I think so, yeah. So well done, Glenda. We've got 1 more match to go, and the standings. So we're going to get the standings as soon as we can. If we can just have a scan around the room to see how many tables are still left in play, and then we'll decide.
For sure, we're going to see Glenda.
We're definitely going to see Glenda. I like the fact that you stand up while you're playing. That's quite nice. So you can see around the room. I'm not sure that
playing so fast. I mean, she is.
Yeah. So there's no tables there. Some people are kind of antsy, standing around. I mean, this was for Dario. That was his longest match that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
It looks like they're getting. It looks like all the tables are finished. So we're going to be shortly on the last round.
I think that we can go through the Pentament standings, even if we have gone through a couple of hours ago.
So let's have a look at the Pentament standings again. For those who've just tuned in, these are the overall standings for the championship. There are various championships, but this is the one that, if you ask a lot of the players here, this is the one they care about. So we can see Dario Di Toffoli at the bottom there. He is the leading senior and he's 10th overall. Yes. He is the defending seniors champion, I believe.
Yeah,
so
sure.
We can't quite see what his scores are, but obviously they add up to 342, so well done, Dario. We can see Mark Taste, he's in the event today. I think he's lost once today, so if he can potentially get 4 out of 5, he can get another good score to his resume. Is anyone else in the field? I don't think anyone else of those people in the field. Leading junior, George Topkin. Down in 9th place at the moment. He's got some very good scores. 2 scores over 90 for George. That's fantastic, isn't it?
Fantastic.
Leading the way now. There are some scores to come in. So Ankush Khandelwal and Mark Taste both did well in corridor. So both of those you'd expect to increase. I think Mark is going to increase by about 80 to 90. I think 90 maybe. He's got a 0 at the end there, so he's going to increase 90 to
90.
To about
90 something.
To about 450. So Mark Taste is going to move right up there. Ankush Khandelwal we expect to move to first place.
About 60 more. I think that Ankush is going to be first tomorrow.
I think so, and then Mark Taste might be second or third, depending on the score. Now, Martin Homargi, who's been our leader for the majority of the week so far, he doesn't seem to be adding any more scores on. He's only played 4.
Yeah, I haven't seen him today playing, just observing and moving, etc. Yeah, it happens that some of the players from Estonia are very keen on a range of games, but some other games they don't like too much.
Yeah, so I was speaking to James Heppel, and I think he said that Martin Hope-Margy if he does win it this year, at least he's win it with good events, as in events that he's
great event.
really,
in very few events.
Yeah, well, no, events that don't necessarily have too much luck. I mean, Settlers of Catan has some dice rolls, but the other 3 events he's done well in are great abstract games.
Okay, let's see the results.
Yeah, so we've got some results going into the last match. We're about to sitting down. Obviously, David Pearce, the arbiter, is sorting that out for us. We can see that someone's just checking this out. We've got 2 people on 4. We've got Glenda Drew.
Silver and bronze from last year.
Silver and bronze from last year.
Are going to play for gold this year.
Yeah, so the way it works for the tie-break is head-to-head, so there's going to be no tie-break. One of these 2 is going to win, unless there's a draw, and then it will go on Buchholz method.
Yes.
So generally, probably what's going to happen, one of these is going to win, they're going to win gold. The person who loses will be on 4, as well as 2 other people, between Akash, Mark, Gayan and Dario. They will be on two of those 4 will be on 4, so there will be a 3-way tie, assuming there's no draws, a 3-way tie between those people for the remaining 2 medals. The tiebreak will be the Buchholz method, which will probably favour the loser of Glenda and Seth, because they've been paired. They're the top table at the last round, and they are doing the best. So they're just doing the pairings for the last match, so we've seen the scores. Anyone in there for the player of the year standings beneath them, apart from Dario? It's just Dario, I think.
Wow. I think that to obtain medals, there is no way that anyone below 3 points, even if they can make 3.5, there will be 1-5 and 3-4s.
Yeah. So Dario, if he wins his last match, might get a good pentamind score to go on to his
wonderful.
other ones.
Yeah, 90 something.
Yeah,
90
and he can still get a medal, I think. So good luck to Dario in the last match, and good luck to all players. We're going to focus on Glenda's game with Seth Bonsi Azamara. So we're going to focus that now. I imagine the players are milling around and about to sit down.
And there has been one more draw.
There has, between David Pearce and whoever he was playing. Was he playing William Taylor?
I maybe
can't remember who Paul Smith drew with. He didn't draw with David Pearce.
Either. Yeah, no, it was with somebody else. Yeah. I think that with a Korean, so maybe it's one of the players that is with 1.5 stable.
Yeah, I think so. So there's only one way to get a draw, isn't there? It's a 2 and it's finished on 24 each, or have that situation we were talking about where you've both got one marble spinning around. I believe our film crew are taking selfies, so well done to them. Very professional.
Well, I think that maybe today is one of the last days for the Korean crew, Korean team, sorry.
Are they leaving?
Yeah, they're leaving before Sunday, and I think that tomorrow, I think that none of the games of tomorrow are found for Koreans.
Okay, they've had a very strong day today, haven't they?
Yeah. So maybe they are doing the last photos, the last selfies in the MSO.
So I've just noticed Friday's a short day, isn't it? So Friday has one session dropped off, so the evening session on Friday is not there. So if you've been here all week and you need a break, you can have it on Friday evening. So if you are thinking about coming to pop down to London just to see what it's all about, please don't come on Friday evening because there will be no games in play.
Yes. After 6 o'clock, I think that we close 6 o'clock.
On Friday?
Yeah, on Friday.
Okay. So Friday closes at 6, so please don't come down on Friday. But if you think you're coming down, you want to ask any questions, please pop them in the comments below. We'll try and answer them as best we can. Tomorrow, if you like Eurogames, it's Terra Mystica. It's one of the premier events tomorrow. We've got some various backgammon games going on. We've got dominoes and vegetables and pineapple. What's pineapple? Is that a poker variant?
Yeah, poker, yeah.
Yeah, so I know it's crazy pineapple. We're going to view Entropy and Mastermind. There's going to be our films of the day. Entropy is going to be a double-length session starting at midday, so please come along for that. The Entropy event starts at 10 o'clock, so you best be up early, Paco. Yeah, you best be up early for that. And we're going to join that at 12 o'clock, hopefully see some people who are doing well. Entropy is a game I'd love to commentate on. I've had a quick go at it and I like the look of it, and I'm going to be joined by a replacement for Paco.
And there are 3 more games that are interesting for me because they're not normal in this kind of strategy games. One is speed reading.
Speed reading. So you're given a certain time to read it, and then you answer questions.
And then they will ask you questions about the whole thing. Then puzzles, and then Sudoku and Killer Sudoku that I like a lot. I mean, I am very fond of, and I have played that. I think that I was 4th or 5th, and sincerely, it was an amazing experience. I think that we had to solve 6. 3 Sudokus and 3 Kenken, and something like we had 2 hours, something like that, and some of the players finished in something like 30 minutes. When I took more than 1 hour, and I thought that it was skillful. I mean, just finishing everything in less than 10 minutes, something like that. And several of the players took less than half.
Wow, that's impressive. So yeah, I don't know what's taking the time. The standings we've got, the players are all milling about.
Enjoying pictures and selfies, etc.
So the players are all milling about. So we're just waiting for the last match to start. We'd like to see the starting again. That start, obviously, because the start's always the same. It's not a random setup. It's always 4 in each. So let's see if Glenda does the same thing. She moved bolt A6 first, and I wonder if she's got her own little starting strategy that she likes to use.
For sure, she's going to repeat.
Yeah, if she's going first. I mean, you might vary if you go second, depending what your opponent does.
So maybe we can have some commercials.
So yeah, we're just going to play a commercial now. We're just going to take a short break, get some more water. We don't know what's taking them, but as soon as they start, we will switch it back on. So we will see you shortly.
Hi viewers, let's talk about Pandora's easiest way to invest, the Go and Grow. Go and Grow is an incredibly simple and automated service that allows you to earn 6.75% per annum and take your cash out at any time. Here are some benefits. It has a yield of 6.75, helping you to plan for the future. You can access your cash without any excessive withdrawal penalties. You also get a diversified portfolio of investments supported by advanced and reliable technology. And you only pay tax when you make a withdrawal over your capital amount invested. That's not all, there's more. You can share access with the people you trust to invest together for a shared goal, like an upcoming world trip or a wedding. And if you are already a Bondora investor, you can transfer your existing Bondora investment portfolio to Go and Grow with just a few clicks. Check for more info in the description box below and visit us on Facebook at Bondora Capital. Start today and make your dreams a reality with Go and Grow. Hi everyone. This time, we would like to give you an overview of what peer-to-peer lending at Bondora is all about. Compared to traditional bank credit models, peer-to-peer lending at Bondora makes you the bank, while our platform provides you the borrowers to lend to. So as an investor, you can generate profit from the interest paid by the borrowers, while the borrowers benefit from the quick access to loans they need. The concept of peer-to-peer lending is relatively new in the finance market and has grown rapidly in the last decade. So if you are new to peer-to-peer lending, would like to be an investor, you can visit our website at bondora.com for more information or check us out on Facebook at Bondora Capital. And that's it for today. Visit our website to start investing and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Thanks for watching and bye for now. Hello and welcome to another weekly video from Bondora. A great question being asked by our investors from across the world is that why are we based in Tallinn? Tallinn is referred to as Europe's Silicon Valley and is a hub for innovative companies like Skype, TransferWise, Pipedrive, and of course Bondora, something not so commonly seen in a medieval capital city. Estonia hosts the NATO Cyber Defense Center and is also building a data embassy in Luxembourg, which will have the same right as regular embassy, but it is able to remotely reboot the country's IT systems in case of a cyber attack. So due to this level of cybersecurity, and since there are children being taught how to code in kindergarten, there is a wealth of tech talent, and this provides a great environment for us to thrive and achieve our goal of becoming Europe's #1 peer-to-peer lending platform. We hope this information helps you understand why we are based in Tallinn, Estonia, and be sure to leave a comment below as to what you want to see in the next week's video and how we can consistently improve your investing experience on Bondora platform. Thanks for watching, and until next week, keep investing and bye for now.
So welcome back to the Awari Championships. We've got one match to go across all tables. We're looking at the gold medal match between Glenda True and Seth Bonte Asadoa, I think. I've written that down a bit loosely, so apologies for that. We're going to go to the table now. They've been told the players are sitting down, so we get to see the match from the start. I say sitting down. It doesn't look like Glenda does sit down, does she? She plays stood up, Paco. That's unusual, isn't it?
And
I believe there's some extra
filming.
Yeah,
they're going to film. Yeah, Seth is going to
filming his own match.
His own match.
If you want commentary, Seth, later, we can do it after the fact. Please contact us. Our rates are very reasonable.
No, they're playing. They know each other very well. Both of them are.
She started already. Let's get a top-down view. And he's started already.
And both of them play standing. So
I think this is going to be a super quick match.
They are going to finish really
now,
fast.
the problem with this is that they're going to play quicker than we can commentate.
For sure. They know much better. I mean, they're repeating the
I believe we have a selfie in the picture. Can you see that? That's our film crew there taking a selfie.
That is
in the picture.
our crew. Yeah.
Cheeky. Yeah. So, but Glenda Seth is already 4-0 up. I wonder there is a potential. Now I get told off this when I play bridge that I play too quickly.
Well, if our partners are there, Ankus and Andres, we can have a bridge.
Yeah, so I guess there is a point where you might play too quickly. Now, Seth is storming away with this. 6 very quick points. Glenda's just counting. She's not moving them. So it's not like chess. If you pick up a ball, you don't have to move it.
No.
She's got 10 in there, so 10 gets her to A4. Apologies, it gets her to A5. So I assume she could take 2. She could take 4 beads back if she goes to A5.
Yeah. Having the same amount in 2 consecutive holes is good, but having 1 less each.
You're absolutely right. So if you've got 2 balls next to each other, one with 10, one with 9, they both hit the same spot.
Exactly.
Which is not what you want, really. You want the option. So we've been talking about this all day, like that choice. Just having choice on your turn, the more choice you have, the better you've got. So if you've got 5 balls with beads in of different amounts, it's much better than having, in this case, Glenda's only got 2.
Yeah, totally correct. Yeah. So she's going to take 4.
So this is a super quick game. This is 8-6 now. She's taking the lead 8-8. Wow, this is going so quick. I wonder if it slows down near the end, a bit like the last game. So there's 11 in A3, and there is 13 in B1, if that helps, Paco.
Now 14, so it's 11, 14 inside, so...
Yeah, so she's doing this to protect B3.
Yes,
B3 could have been taken.
And B2.
And B2, yeah.
Yeah.
So we've just got a comment on underneath our live feed, so thank you very much. It says, thanks a lot for being able to analyse all these games, Paco Garcia de la Banda and Steve Rain.
Oh, he's Vincent Frechot. He's the champion of Avalon.
So Vincent Frechot, I've had the pleasure of commentating on his games
wonderful.
2 years in a row now. He's the
3.
Me personally, I've commentated the last 2 years. So
yes.
Vincent, I appreciate the comments. I hope you like what we've said about you. You clearly dominate Avalon when you turn up. And it's a shame you can't stay the whole week, I guess. But I believe the French contingent you brought did very well at Avalon, but they've gone home now.
Yeah. There is something interesting for you, Steve. Sorry, for you, Vincent. And you were teaching the kids from Canary Islands. And one of them told me, Vincent talked to me the key points on the game that I never knew about. So thank you very much, Vincent. They are amazed with you.
So I've seen some games of Vincent. Commentating on Vincent's Abalone games was much different than commentating everyone else's. The style and the flow of his games changed dramatically compared to the rest.
Yes.
And just even starting off, I saw the game last year. He was, I believe he did very well against David Pearce in the final, so well done to Vincent. But we appreciate the comment, and anyone else watching, if you've got anything to say and you want us to answer on air, please don't hesitate to ask. You might need to be quick, though, given how quick these guys are playing. We've missed a bit. So Glenda's on 15, and Seth's on 13.
13, yes.
Yeah. So she's protecting that.
They're playing so fast.
She's got to protect B2 now.
Yeah, B2 now, yes.
And A4's got 7.
Yes.
So that's still
so
fine.
It's 5, B5, no problem. So maybe B4 now, so to be able to reach, no, B5, yeah. So B6. Yeah.
So
this
is going to get taken potentially from A4.
Now A4, yes.
Okay, so that is another 2. It's now tied at 15 each, I believe.
I think that
so this is threatening A2.
Yeah.
So maybe Seth moves it to A3.
A3, yes.
His camera cou's not as good as ours.
What I think is that they can play with only 3 minutes instead of 12 or 15.
I mean, this is slightly a shame because we're going to have to wait around a bit for the results. I think that these guys are going to finish potentially first in the room.
Yeah.
It depends how long this issue with his camera takes. I hope it's his timer that's counting down. You know.
Okay. Now come to the play.
So it's his go. So he's going. I assume he's going to move A2 because A2 is under threat from B3. He's just doing a quick reassess of the board, I think. No.
Oh, he forgot.
No, because he's threatening B1 now.
B1. Yeah.
So I'm she. Okay.
Oh,
he could take B1.
B1.
But then she takes she takes A2 and A1.
Yeah.
So he has to move. Yeah, he has to do that.
That's protective.
Is she not going to move B1?
Yes, she's going to. Yeah. Three, 1.
So
4.
now B4 is under threat.
Yeah, but it was before and he didn't do it.
No, because A3 was under threat as well. So I guess 1, 2.
So maybe.
So we've got a really interesting statement on the screen now. It says, from a commentary underneath, it says, if 2 of them are playing so quickly, do both of them think they are better than the other player?
Before?
Have you seen that, Paco? So if two people are playing so quickly, does each of them think they're better than the other player? Because you only play quick if you're certain you can beat the other one easily. What do you think of that comment? Do you think you play faster against people who are weaker?
I think that when you play fast, it's because you are sure of yourself, not because you are thinking that you are better or faster than your opponent. It's just a demonstration of your confidence in yourself. So I wouldn't think that they are doing something, like not taking care of the opponent and things like that, playing so fast that you are so bad and so on. Not at all. It's just internal confidence.
Yeah, if I'm comfortable in a situation, and often you're comfortable when you're not playing an expert. If you're playing an expert, you might not be as comfortable and you might take your time a bit. So there is truth to say. But I reckon more than likely they're just really good friends.
I'm sure that they are very good friends, and also they know the type of play of the other very well.
This could be a draw. This must be very close to being a draw, you know.
Did you count?
I'll jump to do again. I'll do the left-hand side. So
15.
This is 21 here.
20.
20 to 21. That can't be right.
No, it is not possible.
5, 10, 15. No, it's 21 each. No, it's not. Can't. Yeah. Oh God, it was 5, 10, 15, 20. It's 21 here. 5, 10, 15, 21 there. That can't be right, can it? Not enough marbles left on the table. One of us is miscounting, I think, or maybe we can't see one.
Yeah.
Are they going to call this a draw because they've had this situation twice?
Looks like that it is a draw. Oh yeah.
Is that game? Oh, Glenda. Well done, Glenda.
Sigong. And on top of that, she knew when it looked like that it was a draw, she knew that she was winning.
Yeah, she just tried
It is amazing.
That is amazing to play a game of that complexity. Right, so the rules are really simple, but the game itself, like the potential permutations of all the different moves you've got, and just quickly counting and saying that can take that, that can take that, and to play at that speed while stood up playing for gold medal, world, that's amazing. So Glenda, you have I'm very impressed with that, Glenda. Well done. And Seth, obviously you played as fast and you won. I would be impressed. I'm equally impressed with both of you, so congratulations.
All my respect to
that is amazing. So I hope that Seth wins the silver medal, because I'm very impressed with the speed in which both of them played there. The longest move in the game was switching the camera on, I think. So well done, Seth. Now, we've got a bit of time left. There's a few games going on. So we are just going to have a...
let's see, Dario has finished in the second table.
Is Dario finished? It looks like
it looks like
yes. There's no one sat in front of us, is there? David Pearce is still playing. David Pearce has the potential to...
Yeah. But Dario has finished already, because
he was nearer to us. So it looks like there's 4 games left. We're just waiting for those 4 games, and then we're going to get the results. As soon as David Pearce is finished, he's going to collate the results.
Yeah.
So we're likely to get some provisional results to you as soon as possible with our Marlene, who is in there. I assume she's stopped taking selfies with Rando, so that she might be able to get us some provisional standings.
Steve, as in the meantime, as you have a YouTube channel with strategy games, what is the orientation of your channel? Is just for young people, for children, for adults, for...
So the way our channel works is that we play games. So we just sit and play games, whatever, and then at the end of the game, we take a little interview on what everyone's thought. So it's not someone who's played 10 times and really understood it. It's not someone who is forced to play a game they don't like. Generally, they sit down and play games. And we've played kids games, we've played party games, we've played complex Euro games, we've played abstract strategy games. Basically, any time we play a game that someone's in, we say, oh, we haven't got a video of this one yet. let's take a video of it. And sometimes people play the game with you, don't like it, and they say, yeah, it wasn't really for me, I didn't really like it, but these sort of people would like it. We generally try to be fair when we rate the games. We rate
what is best for you? I mean, fun or complexity of the games?
Me personally.
For you to have in the website. I
mean, generally we have Euro games are my games, but I also like my abstract and party games. I don't like my little fun, silly games, and I definitely don't like my take that games or air control games. But as a channel, because we've got so many people participating, and we've got a cafe with 500 games in it, we get so many games. The scope of games, and obviously, if you sit down and play one of these games with someone who's going to film it, we film it as best we can. We've got a statement on there here in response, I think, to the speed in which they were playing. It says, you can clearly see that both the players are very experienced, but it was much more of a relaxed match. I would compare it to playing Blitz in chess with a friend just for fun. I'm not saying it's bad, or we can't see the rest of the comments, I'm afraid, but that's from Thomas Belzant as well. I think it's the same comment, the question earlier. I think you're right there, Thomas. I think Blitz in chess is a good example. Blitz in chess, I've seen played casually or for competitively, and either way it's played at the same speed. I imagine, you're absolutely right. They clearly see they were helping each other look at the camera as well, like that.
Yeah, and I'm sure that they know the kind of play of the other player. So they were playing so fast that they knew beforehand what the other player was going to play. I will say 20, 25 first place. They knew exactly what the other player was going to do. So. That means that they were playing like computers.
Yeah, I think it was
only in the end they had to think a little bit. A little bit.
So I think I think it was great. I think it was lovely to see. It's the speed in which I was happy to see it. Hopefully you were too, Thomas. And I also appreciate answering him with questions and comments as well. So thank you, Thomas Bazant. I hope I've said that right. It looks like a Polish version of Thomas, I think. So.
You were telling something about a club where you play.
So I have a board game cafe. So in Nottingham.
Where is it?
In Nottingham. You're just trying to promote me now.
Okay.
So board game cafe in Nottingham, where we do some of the filming for our YouTube channel. Separate entities. The YouTube channel is different to the cafe, and I kind of participate in both. So if you're ever in Nottingham, come down. We are called the Dice Cup, and you might even meet me if I'm around. I'm there most days, apart from when I'm down in London filming. We've got the top 4 results from Marlin. The rest are not final, so we were going to have them on screen for you. We were going to assume these top 4 results are correct as near as they can be. We will have all the people in the medal positions here, as well as people with key pantomime scores in this list.
Let's see if Dario was able to win. Yeah, he won.
So I imagine the 3.5 is... David Pearce and Paul Smith lost.
Not Paul Smith.
I know David. No, apologies. David Pearce is still playing, so he might be playing Paul Smith.
Okay.
So the top 4, what we count. Glenda Drew came first. She gets the gold. We knew that already. Based on tiebreak, Seth Bonte Asamoah is coming second here. I think he deserved that based on the match we saw in the last round. Sadly, Dario misses out on medal in 4th place because Akash Shah beat him, and that would be on tiebreaks. That's a Buchholz method, and that will be based on the standard of the opponents you've played throughout the event. Finally, Dario comes 4th, and he will be getting some pantomime points. That will move him up the standings. That's not necessarily bad to miss out on a medal here, because he finishes effectively tied for 2nd. This would count Dario as 3rd place, because instead of coming 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, those 3 people come the middle of those 3.
With the same.
So they will come 3rd there. So Dario, Akash, and Seth all
90
score
points or 92 or
something like that. So that's going to move Dario up and maybe towards the top 5, the top 6.
Yes.
It's going to be nice to see.
And that will assure himself the senior pantomime in the fight with his colleague Riccardo Gucci.
Riccardo Gucci has been up and about. Dario and Riccardo are kind of floating up and down there. Riccardo Gucci didn't play Aware today. He was playing something else potentially. But anyway, that is it for the evening. The event hasn't finished, but in terms of the medal positions and the pantomime standings, we've got what we came for. David Pearce can still win, and David Pearce is fighting for everything he can fight for. So hopefully he gets 3.5 points there. But I imagine he's playing Paul Smith, and that will be a long and tight fought game.
Yeah.
So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I appreciate all the kind of feedback we're getting from the commentary. That would be great if you can continue to do that. If you are in London, please pop down. We're in JW3, but again, just visit the website, see if there's anything you want to come and watch or even play in, and pop down at some point. I will let you know that on Friday we close early, so please don't pop in on Friday. And in Saturday there's no play. So if you are here on Saturday, there is going to be no games whatsoever. So please don't come down on Saturday, but check the schedule if you're thinking of coming. Anyway, tomorrow, Paco.
Yeah, tomorrow you are going
to
see another player here commenting. He is absolutely superb. Martin Hovemagi is, an amazing young player, all games. Is from Estonia. And I will do something, I don't remember. What will I do
You're
tomorrow?
playing in Entropy, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yes,
oh, yes. Then it's true, I will be playing. So maybe you are going to see me, but in another role.
So if Paco's doing well, what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to try and make sure he gets put in one of the feature tables. So as long as he can win his first maybe 1 or 2 matches, we might see him on screen and we can see why he loves this great game of Entropy. But if you are around tomorrow, we start from midday. Entropy is a long schedule, so we're going to have a 4-hour live stream with a break in the middle. So it's going to be maybe an hour and a half and then 2 hours afterwards. So if you're there, it'd be lovely to see you all. Please please share and like all the feeds that you've got, just so other people can be aware of this great competition.
But I will be back for Mastermind afterwards.
Mastermind in the evening, that's 8 o'clock. Anyway, so I've been Steve, this has been Paco, and we've been a pleasure to have you with us, and we will see you at some form later in the week. Thanks for watching.
Hi viewers, let's talk about Pandora's easiest way to invest, the Go and Grow. Go and Grow is an incredibly simple and automated service that allows you to earn 6.75% per annum and take your cash out at any time. Here are some benefits. It has a yield of 6.75, helping you to plan for the future. You can access your cash without any excessive withdrawal penalties. You also get a diversified portfolio of investments supported by advanced and reliable technology. And you only pay tax when you make a withdrawal over your capital amount invested. That's not all, there's more. You can share access with the people you trust to invest together for a shared goal, like an upcoming world trip or a wedding. And if you are already a Pandora investor, you can transfer your existing Pandora investment portfolio to Go and Grow with just a few clicks. Check for more info in the description box below and visit us on Facebook at Pandora Capital. Start today and make your dreams a reality with Go and Grow.